Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Pocket Dragon Pub. My name is Josh Heath, and I will be your narrator for this evening. Tonight, we are playing May I Enter a Vampire Game? And we're telling the story that has no name. No, a story about the interaction between vampires and their adversaries, known as the Fae. We'll make up a name for the adventure at some point. I'm excited to tell a fantastic story with this incredible table of players, and let's find out more about our players. So, Midnight, can you kick us off?
Sure. Hello, everybody. I'm Midnight Maiden. I'm going to be playing Edith Blair, and I will be the archivist in this group.
And popcorning it over to Okami.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Okami, at KG Okami, all over the internet. And I will be playing Diego Santos, the kid. And I'm going to popcorn it over to Bishy Bunny.
All right, hello. I am Bishy Bunny, and I will be playing the Creep. Her name, however, is Edna Luna.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining me at this virtual table tonight. Are you ready to enter the world of May I Enter?
Yes.
I
Yes.
give
Always.
I give consent.
Yes.
All right, everyone. So we're going to start off with Bishi. Your character, can you give us a description of where you are prior to play during our magical downtime? So this game has downtime moves that happen between sessions. We are pretending we had a session previous to this, and what is your location? And tell us a little bit about what you're doing during this downtime move.
The Platinum Paradiso had originally been an opera house. After the opera house, it was a theater where much drama and many gods in the machine would come down and pick up players and actors and send them into the heavens or pull them down into the depths. Afterwards, it was refitted into a theater, one of those special all interactive theaters where if you sat in the chair watching The Tingler with Vincent Price, your chair would suddenly buzz and send you screaming. Sometimes there would be nurses there because this film was far too scary and you would pass out. So obviously, we had to be sure that we were there to take care of you. And of course, gas would pour up with various smells and sights and sounds. What would later on today be a 4DX experience, back then was done in a much more mechanical sort of way, utilizing the old the framework that had once set the theater and the opera alight was used to make all of the finest horror and sci-fi from every single budget down to I got about $5 and I got a paper cup which I think looks like a spaceship. Um, and just set the thrills. This theater, however, has hit some hard times. Even though it's considered a city icon, to some, it's also considered a bit of an eyesore. They want to, mow it over and turn it into a 20-plex, where they will spend less time enthralling the audience and more time trying to sell them on merchandise and the latest popcorn cup. Not that there's anything wrong with a nice
If you're
popcorn
referring
cup.
to the incident with the dragon, I was barely involved.
The lights flicker inside. There is haze coming from old machinery that is kept in working order by its primary denizen. And it is flooding the area, making it from less of a theater and more of a forest. And in this forest, a young woman, dressed head to toe in everything that you need to rock out at an industrial heavy metal death uh, show that would just absolutely inflame passions. She is there. She has got the piercings. She has got the leather. She has got the spikes. And right now, her heart is palpitating because she is experiencing something that she delights in experiencing. She's experiencing fear, for she is being hunted through this theater by a shadowy figure. And together they are living through an adventure, a horror movie of their own design. And she is the final girl, and the monster is coming.
So this monster, is this a NPC that you have built a relationship with, or is this something else that is stalking your character?
It is actually Edna Luna herself who is stalking her character.
Mm.
She uses her ability, her privilege, I may alter, to change herself to look like whatever it is that Ezra's favorite horror monster is, with a few additions and changes here and there.
Mm-hmm.
She's also put money into this. She's put one of her resource, uh, not leverage, but her resource into this to make sure that this is a like she's been planning this night for a couple of weeks.
So
So she
you
wants
put
to be
some
sure that everything
assets into it, some
yeah,
actual money into it. Okay.
yeah. She wants this to be a full experience for her friend.
Mm.
Uh, because she has never really met anyone who embraces sort of the magic of cinema, specifically of the horror genre, quite like her before.
I think that sounds like an awesome experience to deepen a bond between the character and their NPC that they've had this relationship with. We need to make a roll, though, to see how effective it is at actually deepening the bond between you and Ezra. So, can you make a 2d6 roll using our Powered by the Apocalypse esque system to see how effective that is?
Yes. Because this is a sort of a physical thing, because she's hunting, and is really pumping the blood as she is hunting. I'm going to use the attribute blood, which is the physicality. This is an exciting moment. This is a moment that is really, intense. There are a couple of near misses that she's utilizing her control over her body to make it seem like her friend is in danger, even though she's not.
Yeah.
And also, like I said, I put a resource in it. So I will roll, which I can either use as a reroll or I can use to add a d6. I'm going to add the d6. So this will be 3d6 plus 2 because she really
Fantastic.
wants this night.
Mm.
So let's see. I rolled a 6 and a 5 and a 3.
That's a great roll right there.
Yeah, so I'm over 12. I'm over
Mhm.
12.
So with a 12, a 12 is what our critical success is. So you spend particularly quality time with this mortal that you have this deep relationship with, allowing you to increase one of your privileges, one of your powers that they give you permission for with that mortal by 1. Or you can gain a completely new privilege at level 1. Which would you like to do?
I would like to go ahead and increase I may alter to
Mhm.
3.
Fantastic. So this well crafted, um, emotional hellscape that is a mix of horror and joy experience goes exactly how you planned it. And it deepens your relationship enough that Ezra, more than excitedly, gives you permission to gain that third level of that privilege. Um,
At the culmination, and may I also
mhm.
just sort of to add a little bit to the whole experience, I would also like to request may I feed.
Yes. And how many feed tokens are you looking to get?
I have a may I feed with her of 3, so she's going for the full 3. This
Awesome.
is going to be an exhaust like this is going to be one of those nights that's afterwards it's like, whew, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. And Ezra is, again, enthusiastic. You've created this environment, this scenario that she is enthusiastically in agreement about you feeding. So that becomes kind of this, um, you know, enjoyable experience for both of you. Um, and is there anything else you want to add to this downtime scene before we move into the full beginning opening scene of our story?
Uh, she will once the sort of the lights come up and she kind of like pulls away into her regular look and is no longer the monster. She reaches into she's actually her regular clothing. She has an old usher's outfit that she wears from way back in the day, like the guys with the flashlights and all that sending you to your seats. And she reaches in and she pulls out uh, a half ticket stub and hands it to Ezra to commemorate the event.
Fantastic. Ezra takes that ticket stub and puts it in her pocket, um, and you're left with this memory of a particularly glowing smile. Um, and that brings us into our current evening. Um, your characters have been invited to a gala opening by a woman, by a vampire by the name of Elizabeth. And Elizabeth has been working on this project for about 100 years now. She has been designing a musical experience that is designed to fuse several different genres of music into a new genre of music that will enliven Athens, Massachusetts, where you all are living, um, into a hotspot for community building and new like friendships and new uh, kind of like building bridges across the city that become empowering and will hopefully, if everything goes well this evening, cascade throughout the country and hopefully maybe the world. And she has spent, like I said, about 100 years working on this project, and it has to go right this evening. And she's invited you to both experience the moment when everything should become a crescendo in the musical number that causes the magic of this to flow out. But she's also invited you because she's concerned that something could happen this evening. And Elizabeth didn't describe what that something was, but she said in your invitation, something concerning could be coming. And I need those who I can trust in the audience to ensure that if it does, it is taken care of. So, Akami, could you tell us a little bit about your character and tell us a little bit about where they are in this large music hall with several segmented rooms? and who they might be with if they're with one of their NPCs that they have a relationship with in this building.
I think that Diego is a 6 foot tall, kind of thin, uh, young man, dark, classically Spanish features, um, but he's kind of sort of he's got fair skin, dark eyes, almost like midnight black hair, that has a little bit of wave to it. Uh, he was unsure what to wear, so he decided that he was going to go for classic mod. So he's wearing like a fitted Italian suit, with a really boldly colored tie. The suit is a deep, dark. You would think it's black if you're just glancing on it, but it's actually like a midnight blue. And the tie he's wearing is like a skinny tie, kind of like the ones like the Talking Heads used to wear. That is a deep wine red. Uh, he's wearing polished wingtip shoes, and his hair is kind of, styled with like a little bit of gel, sort of just emitting the classic mod versus rocker vibes. Um, and he is there with I want to say like a bright-eyed young man who's also dressed in a similar way. It's Matthew, who is his regular Uber driver, and this is like their first like date, their first like outing where Matthew isn't just picking Diego up from the bar to make sure he gets home safely. This is like their first time hanging out socially. And they are kind of in I want to say close to the stage, but still as close to the stage as you can get, that's still in an area where there's seating. And they're both kind of sitting kind of relaxed. And despite the fact that there's not supposed to be any smoking within the venue, um, Diego has a clove cigarette, a stash that he stockpiled right before they were outlawed in the United States, and is just taking a drag off of it every now and then. And every time it seems like someone would notice, he like looks at them, takes a drag, and then the person just sort of looks away as if they didn't notice.
Matthew at one point leans over and goes, I don't know that would be bad for your lungs, but I feel like it still is.
It's really bad. People's lungs, but not mine. And purposefully blows it away from Matthew.
He smiles, and you're sitting at a high-topped round table with two chairs, high-back chairs at this round table. And midnight, Edith is kind of swinging around the area of the stage. No music is playing yet. The band has been set up. There's just a sense that something is about to happen, right? Maybe I'm going to say a starter band because I cannot remember the name for a band that goes first. Is going to play. What's that? Opener. Yes, that could be the word. So what is tell us about Edith, and tell us about who Edith is with this evening.
Sure. Edith is probably very gaunt if she has not fed in a while. I think her features do fill out a little bit more flesh when she has fed. She's a fairly lean and tall individual with kind of jet black hair, but she has like a side of it that is going gray, that she's just letting go silver at this point. She kind of has pale green eyes right now, but I think when she has fed, they're a lot more sharper and more vibrant in color. But right now, she is kind of in that gaunt and pale state. And if she is around the back of this stage, she probably has Marcus with her, and trying to have him stay quiet and look around for things because she's a little bit nosy and wants to see what's around here.
So Marcus is a young black man. I say young, but he's probably 24, 25. Young from my point of view.
And for young's sake.
Exactly. And he this evening is dressed to kind of match you, right? So he's reflecting similar colors and a similar like cut of his clothing. But he is keeping an eye on everything around you because he seems to just be a little nervous about something. And if you ask him, he's not able to put his finger on exactly what's concerning him, but he just seems on edge.
It's like I want to make a roll about it, but I think that is, I want to say that might be eternity, but I forget what that is exactly.
So eternity as your attribute is usually the one that you would call on for your powers. It's also one that you would call on for your like thinking about things in the past, right? It's this sense of immortality and also the sense of like feeding into the future that vampires have.
Would it be eternity to kind of gauge if he's had this feeling before, like if I've recognized this reaction to something before that we've been together on?
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic use of eternity, actually.
So it's 2d6?
Yes.
And then plus 2 5s. So plus 2, so that would be 12.
Well, that's again a critical success. So that's a fantastic start. He has had this sort of reaction before. He seems to have a little bit of premonitions, right? A little bit of a sense of the supernatural. And as you're watching him, you realize he's catching a glimpse of someone in the audience, someone like milling about, who's right at the edge of everything and not interacting with anyone. And while it could be our other character, it is not. But I will turn the camera quickly to Bishi and ask where Edna is in this space and who Edna is with this evening.
Edna has decided after the semi-recent events and all of that she wants to watch as opposed to offering her services for like technical support, since she does know like lighting and all of that. So instead, she is actually in the audience. She is not with Ezra though. Okay, Ezra had her own event that she needed to go to, and this is more sort of like an intellectual pursuit, and she's more about the passionate moment. So she's in some dive bar somewhere, really just making the drinks taste that much better and the fists hurt that much less. And she is with Ahmed instead because he is an intellectual, he's a professor, and she thought that maybe there's some that he would get something out of this.
Yeah.
She's also, because she doesn't really have, well, most of the clothing that she has is like stage clothing. So she's actually borrowed a outfit from Ahmed to wear to this event because she doesn't really know like what you would wear to something like this, to a more intellectual pursuit. So I don't know, what did he pick for Edna? Edna
Yeah.
is a slim, pale woman whose features are kind of hard to nail down.
So Ahmed is terrible at fashion and terrible at choosing good clothing. So has picked this rather clearly like out of date suit, teal suit. Like it, it was one of those suits that comes with both like a suit skirt and a suit pant set. Um, and he chooses the pants just because he's like, I don't know, and that's what he has provided for you to wear.
And she absolutely loves it. She's like, "Oh my god, I look just like one of the young women from Prom Massacre 34. Oh, this is great. No, absolutely. I'm sure I will be the Bill."
I have no doubt. So you are at the edges of the auditorium area, right? And a drummer has stepped onto the stage and is just very gently starting a rhythm on the drums. It's just a slow jazz rhythm. And this creates kind of a strange tension in the room. And midnight, you notice that Marcus, as I was mentioning before, is kind of like seen something at the edges of the space. And Edith sees this figure wearing a extravagantly tall top hat, right? He's got a cane in his hands, and he is closer to 7 feet tall than 6, but somehow isn't really standing out to the people around him, right? Except physically, right? He is towering above everyone, but no one seems to be noticing him. And Marcus just kind of like, do you see what I'm seeing?
Does his hat really need to be that tall? He's already that tall.
It's certainly weird. Someone that tall, right?
I feel like he's hiding something under it. It's gotta be.
Yeah. It feels like a thing you might check out, but I don't know if you want to. I'm certainly not up for that.
I think she would try, and I think that's like Cloak to kind of do it a little bit sneakily. Like, I mean, this individual already stands out, but I think she would try to maneuver through the crowd just to kind of get a little bit better of a look.
Sounds like a great idea. So again, 2d6 roll with +1 for your cloak.
That's only an 8. Okay. One dice was nice and one wasn't.
Yeah, an 8 is still a success though. So 7 to 9 is a success. And you are, I would say, probably acting with intent here, right? You're using cloak to kind of stealth your way. And on a 7 to 9, there's a consequence, right? Either an existing complication, complications are tracked through a pie, a nice little clock, or something else occurs. And I'll have something else occur. You make your way through the audience, and you actually run right into Edna. Like, Edith slams into the side of Edna.
Do we know each other, or we don't know each other?
You do know each other. I don't know how well you know each other. That will be up to you. But you have interacted. You are both aware that you are vampires. Beyond that, I'll leave it to you.
Okay. I don't think she meant to do it, but obviously it's a consequence, and she's just like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then realizes that it's Edna and is like, oh, you got invited too?
Edna, because somebody like knocked into her and she's not very aware of like what the etiquette is, um, and she knows this isn't like a mosh pit, so instead she goes with her second guess, which is she hugs the person who slammed into her. It's like, oh, happy orchestra.
Oh, hi. Okay, that's normally not what you do when you bump into somebody, but that's better than what most would do. Are you okay? I wasn't trying to knock you out on the first go.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm I'm always fine. Uh, what's up?
I think she just gestures to specifically the really tall hat on the really. My little friend Marcus back there. We both think that just does not look right. He's already so tall. Who comes to one of these things with a giant hat? He has to have something under there.
See, I saw the hat and I was jealous, and I was wondering if I should have brought a hat. And so you're telling me that that's not normal?
You can
Okay.
bring a hat, but he's already a decent proportion. I don't even know how he got in the doorway without taking it off.
Huh. By the way, as you've been talking, uh, Edna has gone from like when you bumped into her about 5'6", she's now about 6 feet tall. Um, and has gone from a blonde to a brunette. Oh, okay. Do you want help with this? I mean, are you gonna
Sure.
be
Is
okay?
is this relatively new? The whole switcho changeo in a couple of seconds thing?
She's always been she like I said, it's hard to nail her features down. She shifts a
Okay.
lot. Like you're not sure if you've ever actually seen her actual face.
Four. Okay. Did
So
you not like the hair color you had before,
What?
or be like this better?
But it she reaches up
I'm
and like looks at her curls. Oh, well, and smiles. Not real sure what to say.
So Ahmed is kind of looking around where you've been pointing and talking, and he's like, I don't see any hat person.
See, that's weird. That's weird because Ahmed normally sees people in hats. I don't think he has a problem with seeing people in hats. So that's weird.
I turn back in the direction. Is that person still there, or does
He is,
you just kind
yeah.
of?
The figure in the hat is definitely still there. At this point, he seems to kind of like be leaning in on a table, and it's like the shadows seem to like extend out from his fingers onto the table, slightly farther than they should.
Ahmed, before I go over there, I would like two things. First of all, I would suggest maybe you go somewhere a little safer because I don't think that this is safe for you anymore. And
Oh,
two, do you mind if I take just a nip?
um, and okay, you're worried about me,
Yes.
and you need you're a nip of what? What are you nipping?
Some of your the stuff that we share sometimes when we're having conversations. You're usually you know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
So I can do it without anyone seeing if that's a problem. But if you don't feel comfortable, that's fine. You can just go ahead and maybe just chat. It's up to you.
I
I don't know how powerful people in tall hats are, so
sure.
it could be a problem.
I I'm just I'm a little scared right now, and I don't think I can let you feed right now. It just doesn't
Abs.
feel
Okay,
right.
okay, gotcha. Okay, please leave.
That I can do.
Okay, good.
And he turns and like run walks out of the building.
Okay, all right. Now, and she looks back at the guy with the tall hat. Are we sure the hat isn't wearing him? It's a very tall hat.
amongst everybody else nicely dressed here? I mean, it's hard to argue that point. Do we get a sense that this is another vampire just because of the way the shadow is, or is just something totally different?
It could be a vampire, but you, in your experience, have never seen a vampire quite like this, right? If he is, he's odd, regardless. And that's odd in your world is often not a good thing.
Yeah.
Is he on the stage or is he down amongst other people?
He's down amongst other people, and he seems to be moving through the crowd, slowly but surely.
Okay, I'm gonna go and talk to our friend, and why don't you back me up?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, cool.
So Diego, you see Edna and Edith, who you are familiar with, and they are talking and seem concerned and are looking towards a figure that catches your eye as well once you notice them mingling with each other. How does Diego react to this?
Diego's eyes kind of narrow as he looks at the figure. And I would like to make, as Diego looks at the figure, how unusual they are, how tall they are, how they carry themselves, and how they're kind of moving their way through the crowd while this kind of esoteric musical performance is starting. And I feel like it reminds Diego of something that he's dealt with in the past before. I'd like to recall a memory.
Fantastic. So recall a memory is a specific move that you roll with eternity. So let's see how that roll goes.
All right, eternity. Oh, I don't have much of that, but let's give it a shot. Nope, I got a 6.
So with a 6 on recall a memory, you have no memory of this, and you need to cross off one of your nostalgia boxes.
Mm-hmm.
As you mark off nostalgia, you'll potentially gain ennui, which drags you down both emotionally and mechanically. One nostalgia is not the end of the world yet. So Diego does not have a memory of anything quite like this. Does make me think, though, Midnight, your character might use one of your archivist moves here. Occult repository might be useful if that was something you were interested in rolling.
Yeah. Knowledge of the supernatural allows me to find solutions. Still 2d6?
Yep, you can, if you would like, roll with a privilege. So when you roll with a privilege, you would spend feed tokens to call upon one of your powers, your privileges, and that might help here. It's not a requirement, but it is an option if you wanted to use it, and it would add a bonus to your roll.
Okay, so I would just
Are
mark
we
it
all
off.
starting with some feed tokens at the begin with?
That is a great question that I should have answered at the beginning. So every character is starting with 4 feed tokens. Bishi, your character has an additional 3, so you have 7 because you fed before.
And I would just spend 1 to use this?
Correct.
Okay. So yeah, I'll spend a feed token, and then 2d6. That was not a good roll. That was 5. And then feed adds what?
Depends on which privilege you're calling on. I think perceive made the most sense, which I think
yeah,
you have one.
I think so too, to be
So
honest.
that would have added 1, and then your eternity would add whatever your eternity is, which I think is 2.
Yeah, 2. So if I add 1, that would be a 6, and then plus 2 would be an 8.
Okay, that's good because that becomes a success with a complication. So the complication in this, I'll start off with that, is that the hat person notices you.
Swell.
And
Senpai.
you are pretty sure you notice that he has bells on his belt, which to you reminds you of this ancient tale of these kind of supernaturally strange fairy tale creatures in a maybe it was a Swedish, maybe it was a German story that you heard. And these bells are often an indication of something that they can call on the spirit world using them.
Don't like that. I think she figures that out, and then she kind of nudges Edna of like, maybe you should go, like, pretend not to know me for a sec, because I'm pretty sure our not so little friend just noticed me staring a little too hard.
Okay, I'm gonna go talk to the guy with the hat.
I think I'm gonna try and distract. If she goes one way, I think Edith is gonna like counter and go the opposite direction, just to split this person's attention a little bit, so we don't pile up with each other.
Okay. So Edna beelines for the guy with the hat, and he looks at both of you moving and just kind of smiles, and it's this predatory smile, right? And Diego, you see this, right? You see Edna beelining for the guy with the hat. Doesn't seem like a good idea to you. Just the tension is ratcheting up, with the drums, and you start hearing this faint piano that is joining the music.
I'm going to do something that I think is kind of invoking a privilege. Okay. So I have a playbook privilege called I May Grasp, which is quickly pick up new technology. I want to pull out my smartphone and take a picture of this guy and see what happens.
Fantastic. So you would invoke that privilege by spending a feed token.
Yeah.
In this case, I wouldn't say there's a move associated with this unless beyond a picture you're doing something else.
No, I want to take a photo because this seems weird and supernatural. No one else is paying attention. I'm making sure to take the photo before Edna's in it.
As you pull your phone up, right, and you open the camera app with no problems, you notice that the hat person is in no way present in the camera.
Huh. Okay. In that case, I'll put my phone away and I'll lean over to Matt and it's just like, stay here. I'm going to go deal with something.
He just kind of smiles and nods his head.
I'll be right back. And I'm going to quietly stalk my way through the crowd to try and get closer to this guy because I think he might be a threat to our host. Okay. And I would like to do that stealthily. Would I roll hide?
You could roll hide. Hide or act with intent would work here, but I think hide makes the most sense because you're trying to be stealthy, right? You're trying to hide in this space.
And that's cloak for stealth.
And I'm going to give you a bonus. You enacted a privilege and didn't really get a benefit from it before. So I'm going to bring that bonus over So you get a +1 to this hide.
Thank you. All right, here we go. Yes. All right. 8 plus 1 is 9. And then Diego has a cloak of 2. So that's an 11.
Okay, so that is a straight up success. You definitely stay hidden as you're moving through the crowd. And you kind of be very close when Edna walks right up to this
Right.
figure. And Edna, tell us a little bit about how that goes.
Edna is going to, learning from the experience of a few minutes ago, um, because she now knows how you introduce yourself in this orchestra kind of thing. So she runs into the guy straight up, just like she was run into, and then immediately hugs him and says, "Welcome to the orchestra event." Yeah.
He hugs back, and it feels like you're being enveloped 3 times over. And he whispers in Edna's ear and says, "Ah, I have not had a hug from one of my cousins in so long."
Are we
He kind of
related?
pushes Edna back a little bit. Perhaps.
So, did you get an invite as well?
I did not. Our guest, Elizabeth, and I are not on those kind of speaking terms.
Oh, well, I could talk to her for you if you wish, and maybe introduce. I don't know. I mean, it's a terrible thing when family doesn't talk to each other.
You notice his eyes seem to have little flames inside of the pupil.
Mm-hmm.
They are these little sparks that seem to like puff up every now and then.
However, I do have to say, I think you are making some of the people here a little uncomfortable. Maybe we should move out of the larger crowd, and we could have a discussion elsewhere.
Oh, it sounds like, my friend, you're concerned I might devour a few of your toys.
I, I. Do you eat? I have a pretty big collection of horror figures, and that would be bad. Um, yeah, I wasn't concerned, but now I am. So let's not go back to my place, okay?
So Edith and Diego are kind of like on either side of this figure now, behind him. And he turns, he knows that Edith is there. He turns to Edith and kind of smiles. Your friend Edna here has asked us to step into a different part of the auditorium and speak privately. The music is about to really begin, I think, and I would love to have a chat with the two of you.
Just the two of us?
No, don't see any others of your kind to worry about.
Have we clocked Diego or
Yes, you are aware of Diego.
no? I think it's more, she's not using an ability or anything, but just her flavor. I think she tries to give off kind of like a shimmer of her eyes in Diego's direction of like, you should follow behind type of a look, but I don't want to like hint that he's there.
That's fair.
Well, let's go have a chat, shall we?
So he
Diego's
go ahead.
Diego, who is kind of like, just for kind of flavor's sake, has kind of cloaked himself in shadows. Kind of it's almost like the trick that he was doing earlier with the smoke. he's doing like an amplified version of it, right? People aren't looking at him or acknowledging he's there. And he's continuing to move quietly, stealthily, uh, just stepping out. Like anytime the stranger with the top hat like looks around, he's trying to quietly like move like behind someone, doing his best not to make any kind of noise, um, as he is following. Um, to
So-
be an unexpected ace in the hole for the rest of this little motley of vampire friends.
So Edna and Edith have to really move quickly to keep up with this guy. He steps with a purpose. He knows where he's going, and people seem to move out of his way almost completely unaware of his existence. They just seem to part like the sea. Are Edna or Edith doing anything along the way while you're walking?
How does Architect of Reality work for a playbook privilege? I was like, can I like bend reality a little bit or no?
So, Architect of Reality. You're the archivist, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So your playbook privilege should be I may shape, right? Oh, an Architect of Reality. Sorry, this is me reading and remembering. That is the third level of that privilege. And actually, I believe you only have the second level available
Okay.
of that privilege from Marcus.
Okay.
So you would be able to use shape earth and water or shape fire and air as the two.
I don't think that he's shaping either one of those would help in this moment. I think she's just kind of observing right now, like where we're exactly going, because I don't think she knows.
Bishi,
what about your character?
Well, quick question. On the I may alter and transforming into shapes and so on, it is not clear to me like how long a shape lasts. So like, yeah.
So playbook privileges, when you invoke them, are designed to last for the scene, unless there is a narrative reason that it would extend beyond that. And if
Okay.
it does extend beyond that, usually you would require more feed tokens to keep it rolling.
Okay. Then she is going to shift slightly to basically take on a more animalistic, predatory sort of stalking, so that she can keep up with this person. Like, she wants to keep up to the point that she's beside him and can like talk to him, because like she's like noticing the bells and so on, and she is still either the fool or playing a fool. It's hard to tell with the way Edna is, but being in a more sort of like, she's not horrifying at the moment. She's just more muscular, more swift, and so on. So just to give a bonus on that, and she will spend a feed token for that.
Great. So you all walk into a separate part of the auditorium. It's a separate room just off the main space, and the hat guy turns around and stands up straight. He was slightly hunched before, and now when he stands up, he's closer to 8 feet than 7. And he seems to, the shadows in this space seem to play around the edges of his existence. And he looks over at Edna, and seem like there's the first edge of fear seems to wash over his features. Diego has still managed to be completely careful and obscured, and is there but currently hidden. And you hear the music in the auditorium go, it begins at full volume. All of a sudden, there's just this surge of music. And as I was saying at the beginning, it's a fusion of various genres, right? You feel a hint of goth, a bit of classical music, this edge of is that folk or is that something evoking country, right? There's definitely a fiddle in there from somewhere. And it shouldn't work, right? This music that fills the space should be discordant. But it comes together as this nearly perfect fusion of something new. And when it hits, when it really, like, when the music rises up, there is like a stabbing sensation in the back of all of your heads. And each of your characters has only felt this once before. This is the sensation that there's a vault that is opened underneath you somewhere. The vaults, for our audience, are the remnants of an ancient vampire civilization from thousands and thousands of years ago. They are rare, and when they open, all vampires and some other things become aware of them. And this awareness is often tied to the culmination of a vampire's projects. You feel the sensation, you know there is a vault, and the hat being goes, ah! Tonight has become more interesting. What do you do?
Is there a way to perceive if it was like a ritual to open the vault, like with this music going on? Because I mean, I know I can perceive, but then ritual is its own thing.
I would say that Edith probably jumps to that conclusion without pulling on the privilege, right? Without calling on it, because it feels right, right?
Yeah.
There's a sensation that whatever project Elizabeth has been doing is, if it wasn't directly intended to open the vault, it has done so, and it is definitely connected to the music.
Are we visible to the rest of the people, or are we in our own little area?
You're in your own little area at the moment.
Okay. Well, I hope you don't find this rude, but I really need to know what your intentions are. So I'm going to ask politely. What are your intentions?
May I have your name?
Edna?
What a beautiful name. I enjoy being called Edna. And as Edna, I am here to enjoy the music and spend time with my friends and slowly devour them and ensure there's nothing left, like a peasant like your people are.
Okay, well, I'm afraid I can't let you do that. I do not give you permission, and I'm gonna have to stop you.
Stop me. How could you stop Edna the Great? How could you?
Quick question. And is asking Edith. Edith, he keeps using my name. Did he like steal it or something? Is this some sort of fairy bullshit? And that's like the first time she's cursed, and like there's sort of an edge to her now.
Names do have power. Out of character, above table for would this be something that I guess I could use, maybe perceive in this instance? Like if I recognize it, especially being the archivist, of like learning this, or if I've had some kind of interaction with it, if by telling him her name, he basically took the power.
Yeah, I would definitely say you could. So this would be your move, probably a cult repository. And you could use your privilege, I may perceive, to do that move. Yes.
Okay, marker feed token. 7. And then it adds a +2 to it? Am I doing the math wrong?
So it looks like you have I may perceive of 1.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. So that's 7 + 1 is 8. And then for using a feed token, that's what I get the +2 from?
You would get an attribute with that. So I think eternity would be the attribute for that. So
okay.
I think
So
that's
8,
a 10.
10, yes.
Okay. So that's a clear, straight success. If you had any nostalgia marked at this point, you could clear some nostalgia as you're calling back on this memory, and you now are confident. You're like, oh, this is some sort of fey creature. These beings are one of the major antagonists of vampires. They claim that they are the actual inheritors of the vaults that vampires lay claim to. You've heard them refer to themselves as your cousins, but often what they mean is they own what vampires seem to claim. They are capable of taking things without asking for it, unlike vampires that need permission. And this one in particular seems concerningly powerful.
I think she just clears her throat and looks at Edna and is like, this is one of those that likes to think they have agency over us, and gives not such a nice look at this man as she is heavily annoyed.
So, in that name that you keep using, what do you get?
A new name, a new being, a new... I have this name, this person on my teeth. Ezra.
I would like to make a big swing. So, he mentioned earlier that he called us, was it peasants?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. I would like to make the move Defiance is my name as I reach into my cloak, pull out one of those retractable batons, pulls it out, cracks, goes behind him, and reaches up in an arc, because he's 6 feet tall. The guy's probably clears him 2 feet, but does an upward arc to just slam him on the back of the head. Like, with just all of the like anger and defiance against someone that thinks they're above him.
Sounds fantastic. Are you rolling with privilege? You do have a privilege related, I may grasp.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and spend my second feed token. It's a one shot. Let's have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
And like, just whack. And I would, this is grasp, and I'm trying to remember what I roll with this. This is roll with
blood?
I would roll with blood.
Roll
here.
with blood. Yeah. Oh, sweet. Okay, I rolled a 5 and a 6. So that is 11 plus 1 for my blood, and then I think it's another 2 for the privilege? No.
Yep. Another 1 for the privilege.
Another 1 for the
Nope,
privilege. So.
you have 2 in my grasp. I'm wrong. So
Just for a total of 13.
that is a critical success. So you can actually erase that nostalgia that you marked earlier.
Yes.
And you strike this figure in such a way that you can decide what happens to him. You can either take him out in some form right now, or you can do something else. If you could give me an interesting argument for something else, I'll leave that in your hands.
I kind of want to take him out, but not like he's dead, but like he is just unconscious and is not going to be getting up anytime soon.
Fantastic.
And just hits him, and as he like gets on the ground like a sack of potatoes, he like looks down and he's like, "We should go handle the other one. Also, I'm taking this," and he grabs his hat, puts it on.
Ooh. So Diego strikes him. Diego had ages ago included a bit of solid iron on the end of this baton that, when striking him, has removed all of his energy from him. Taking the hat, however, causes an interesting effect. The figure who was previously this massive being seems to shrink down to a very normal-sized human being-like figure. And his face that previously was achingly strange and beautiful has just become kind of banal and normal, and there's a wart on just the side of his face that wasn't there before. And the hat in Diego's hands feels like it's dangerous.
Oh.
What do you do?
Edna, do you warn me?
I warn you about what?
Oh, wait a minute. Edna and Edith.
I know,
You're
we're
the
two
archivist.
E's.
Yeah, you're the archivist. Do you warn me?
I know.
I want to give you the opportunity because we're all telling a story together, right? Like,
Yeah. I was thinking there's something that she would clock for this to tell him, because her whole thing is like artifacts and going into these vaults and like digging stuff out. Like, would she have gauged that he should not put this on, or?
Yeah, it's clearly a magical artifact of some form. Like, he could put it on. There may not be any negative effect, but glamour like that is not safe usually.
I think she just puts a hand on her shoulder and is like, maybe we don't put it on just yet before we figure out its full abilities.
all right. He looks around to see if it's like a classic silk one that he can, because the silk ones you can compress. Does it compress, or is it one solid piece?
It's one solid piece. And it doesn't feel, when you do that, right? Like, it doesn't feel like
It has give.
Yeah, it doesn't give. It's almost not fabric, right? It's not what a hat should be made out of. You're not sure what it is, but it is not normal.
Okay. Let's get out of here. I won't put
Maybe
the hat
hide
on.
that somewhere.
It won't collapse.
Is Diego wearing a very big jacket, or if Edna
he's
has a
wearing
very big
fitted
bag?
Italian suit. He's wearing a fitted Italian suit. That's the problem.
No.
Quick question. Does Edith mention the fact that it was probably the iron that took this guy out? Since I assume that she would know that. She would notice that.
I think she would probably have made a comment that she's grateful
That it was
Diego
made of
has
iron?
it on there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the iron. Oh, this is illegal. Shouldn't be walking around with this, but I am. And I recollapse it and put it back in my
Edna
jacket.
is now Japanese. She's a Japanese woman, and I'm actually spending a full 3 of her fee tokens for this full transformation.
Mm.
And she does. She says, if I don't know if your characters know Japanese or not, she says that she's going to go take care of the other one, and it sounds very raspy and metallic.
Diego responds Japanese. Are you sure? By yourself? We should warn the person who invited us. Are the person performing that invited us, are they on stage? Or did they just...
As far as you know, Elizabeth is not on stage yet.
Okay. We need to warn Elizabeth.
Do that. He threatened Ezra, which means the other threatened Ezra, also in Japanese. And that may not happen. And with that, she stalks out. And yeah, she looks like a Japanese businesswoman. And if you know, I don't know, do either of you watch like films, or does your character watch films, horror films, or anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay, you might be familiar with a film called Tetsuo the Iron Man.
Oh, okay.
She has become the girlfriend the after he passes on, and she is infected with the iron virus. So she is she has her inner form is enhanced by iron. Her nails will become iron blades. She's about to go full ravaging on this other one. Because she does not play with Ezra's life.
Edith, there are people in there. You're going to scare everyone. I was only able to take this one down because I was subtle.
Well, first of all, she's already walked out, so you can go to stop her. But also, at the moment, she just looks like a Japanese woman because those things grow out as she, So
she's concealed.
I'm going to turn to
Edith?
Edith.
No, Edith and Edna. I'm sorry, guys. Next time we'll pick different names.
Yeah.
I only picked it. I literally picked this name right before we started playing, and it's because she's in one of the most famous horror movies of all time. So it's
right.
If you want to refer to Edith as Blair, that's fine. That's her last name.
Blair?
So.
Yeah. I'm going to turn to Ms. Blair and say, we need to find Elizabeth. And I'm going to take Ms. Blair's hand and try and search the various side rooms, backstage areas, and whatnot to find Elizabeth. Perhaps going to where we were going to meet after the show. Kind of having the hat kind of tucked away, out of direct line of sight, under her arm. And just let Edith do what Edith's gonna do. But we've got to let Elizabeth know what's going on because there's another Fae entity in the building.
So Edith, not Edith, Edna stalks into the auditorium, right? And the music is full bore, and Diego and Ms. Blair are moving their way through the back ways of the auditorium, trying to get to the back area where they would assume Elizabeth is. Edna is looking for another one of these Fae in this space, right?
Mm-hmm.
Immediately it becomes clear that if they were in here before, they could not be now, because the music almost overwhelms your senses and shifts your emotional states, right? The music is designed to be antithetical to the antisocial nature of the Fae. Not intentionally, like it's designed to be community building and bringing everyone together, but that is antithetical to them, right? But Edna is also able to guess that if it were to have gone anywhere, it would have gone to try to find the vault.
Yeah. So that's where she's headed.
Okay.
After making that conclusion.
Mm-hmm. And so this triangulates the three of you to the same space again. You hear a guitar tuning quietly. It's an electric guitar, not connected. And the player is tuning it using a set of headphones. And you see Elizabeth in this beautiful green dress. It's got sparkles, and her long, like blonde, almost white hair is hanging down free, and she shakes her head a little bit, and she looks at the three of you, and she smiles. And the smile like creates this sensation of hope inside you. What is Edith doing with this sensation?
Is it familiar to feel that way around Elizabeth, or is this like a new feeling?
This is a new feeling. It seems like something special to the music.
I think she would try and perceive if there's like something else going on other than just Elizabeth being Elizabeth in this moment, especially if it's never happened before. That's a little odd to her, regardless if it's a hopeful feeling or not. It's a little off to her.
Yeah, she is shimmering with magic, right? There is a energy that she is both pulling from the room, pulling from the music to her, and echoing back, right? It is like a person singing in a symphony, in a choir, but they are the lead singer, right? Their voice is the strongest, and she is about to step into that and bring everything to bear.
I don't know if I want to stop her though. Like, is it a bad feeling? Like, if I stop her or not?
Yeah, you all know, the three of you know, that this project has to go right. She might be able to have a momentary conversation with you, but if she doesn't step on stage at just the right moment and join the music, it could be dangerous to her whole project.
I think I just asked, where do you need us? Like, with that feeling of like, I don't want to get in her way. And obviously I know other things are happening, but I think it clicks for Edith for a second of she needs this to go off.
She turns to Diego. She smiles at Edith. She nods her head. And she takes the headphones off. She grabs a guitar and she says, "There's a stairwell." And she kind of points to the east. "I think the vault's down there. And I think if you don't get there and check it out and dive into it, things could go badly." And she sweeps her way onto the stage.
When she said there's a stairwell,
Mhm.
Edna went on all fours and is literally, and like from behind her, like from her spine, is an iron tail that has come up almost scorpion-like behind her, and she is full on just monstrous at this point.
I don't feel right just leaving Elizabeth alone on that stage, but
I think
we
we
should
need to go.
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
to go. And Ms. Blair and Diego follow Edna.
You make your way to this stairwell, and at first it's just a standard kind of musical venue stairway, right? A little bit of concrete and a little bit of like art pieces, clearly designed to muffle sound a little bit. But as you make your way down, it transitions. It's becomes something different. The stairway starts to become, instead of your usual like metal and plastic, right? You start noticing that some of the steps are stone, and then some of the steps are all of the steps, and then the space around the stairwell becomes this thick, clearly rough-hewn stone that has blends of gold and silver and other like precious gems in it. And it seems to sparkle with a similar green color to Elizabeth's dress. And I know you're all focused hard on getting down to the bottom of the stairs, but you all, as you're making your way down it, notice that it glimmers in time to the music. And at the bottom of the stairs is a large room with a massive set of doors with no handles, no obvious hinges, but you can see the slight cracks around it that make it clear it's a set of double doors that are closed. But everything in this room is thick with dust, as if no one has been in here for untold amounts of time. Oh, Okami, you are muted for some reason. I don't.
That's my fault. I like to act with intent,
Okay.
and I want to very kind of like move purposely to the doors and push them open.
Okay. That would be you're acting with intent. That would be a roll with blood.
Blood? Okay.
And I don't believe you have I may destroy as one of your
No.
privileges.
Mm-mm.
No. So,
I
and that would be the only one I would think would be relevant to this.
All good. No. I rolled a 3.
So you mark a nostalgia because that is a critical failure.
Yeah.
And any failure this badly, it hinders your further progress, right?
Yeah.
Diego actually runs in front of Edna, who was making her way in this scorpion iron form, and might have noticed a thing, but the two of you trip up on each other, and you just are kind of like wrapped in each other's like space at the moment. What is Edith doing when she noticed them kind of like they fall into each other again?
I think she tries to separate the two, like pick them up a little bit because we're all in such a hurry. Could I technically use a privilege to shape air, but kind of maneuver like this magical essence through the doors and see if it does anything?
I think that's a great idea. Yeah. So I think that would be acting with intent. And you can roll with your privilege for the shape, fire, and
That's
earth.
number 2. Yeah. Okay.
Fire and air.
Yeah. So do I have to spend a feed for that then?
You do
Yeah,
need to
right.
spend a feed token, yeah.
Okay. Mark that off.
And I've been having
Okay.
you spend just one, but technically, for anyone in the audience, you should usually spend a feed token per level of a privilege. For our one shot, I've just been saying one because it's a little bit easier, and I don't want you to be completely out of feed tokens.
Okay. And then you said to do it with intent, which is blood, which I have 0 for. But then I get 2 back from the using the feed token, right? So 9, 10, 11.
Okay. You do notice that the air gets stopped by the edges of the door. It kind of filters its way in. Dust flies out, but it does not go through the door. This is a fully sealed set of doors. But the other thing that you notice is when you do that, bits of writing appear at the top of the door.
I think there's a thing where I can kind of like decipher, right?
Yes.
Remember. Is that technically perceive? Or is that a different ability?
Yeah, you could use I may perceive as your privilege, and I would say uncover is the move that you would use, which is gain information about things or people. And you would roll with eternity for this.
That one's nicer. I rolled a 5 and a 4 again. I'm literally rolling the same dice. So 9. That's also 11.
Okay. You notice it is writing that you are sure has a magical purpose, but you are unfamiliar with the language. Edna, however, is familiar with the language.
I kind of gesture it to both of them to see if maybe they would understand it and just kind of like dust it off and point to it. Do either one of you, can you read this?
No, I can't.
Edna tilts up her head. What does it say?
So this is as far as Edna can tell, a form of Sumerian that Edna was taught early on in her existence. And you'd have to clear away a lot of the dust to really read all of it. And I know we're a few minutes away from our halfway point. I don't know if we're close enough, because this would be an amazing place to pause and take our break. Okay. So let's take our break. You will clear away the dust, and then we will all return in a few minutes.
Bye-bye.
All right, so the group of vampires is standing in front of this ancient door with these ancient words that you are slowly working to clear off. And now, in movies, people will tell you that translation is a one word for one word sort of situation. Anyone who has translated anything knows that is a lie. So Edna is looking at these words and she starts rattling off like options of what it could mean. And it seems to say something like together, maybe in unison, maybe on the same at the same time. And then it definitely says something about music.
Could
But
in unison be harmony?
That's an interesting word choice. Certainly could fit. More poetic. And the last few words might mean drum beat, might mean percussion, might mean marching. That one's difficult to parse.
Hmm.
Harmony on the beat. Harmony in step. Hmm.
Well,
So yeah, smart people think about that. She is turning around and she is letting out a roar in this room with the intent to horrify. On the off chance that there is one of those Fae in here invisible, hiding and waiting for us to open the door so that, aha, got you kind of situation. I am basically going to try and horrify them out of hiding, if that is what is occurring.
So, unlike other Powered by the Apocalypse games, this game does have dice roll moves for the narrator in certain situations when they are using moves for an NPC. So, Edna is horrifying. I think I will just say absolutely in the form that Edna is in, that would succeed. And so I will make a roll for whatever might be here. As a narrator, I only roll 1d6. They have a 1 to 6 rating on their powers. I rolled a 5. And Edna notices that there are scuff marks in the dust that have just taken a step back at the back side of the room, close to the door, close to the stairs. Those are what those things are called, stairs.
She stalks that way.
Yep.
Oh, this is going to seem a little weird.
I'm all for a little weird.
Okay.
name of the game. A little weird.
I would like. Oh, do I have that privilege? Hold on. Privileges. I'm checking my privileges. Grasp, conceal. Okay,
Check your privilege.
Check my privilege. I do have perceive. Okay, this is going to be weird. So you said there's a bunch of dust everywhere, right?
Yes.
I want to very quickly not outpace Edna. If anything, I want to stay behind. But what I want to do is scoop up some of the dust and dirt on the ground, cup it in my hand, and then spray it out into a cloud of dust in that direction and use the uncover move.
That is a fantastic use of the uncover move. Because of the conditions that you're using the uncover move in, I will give you an additional +1 to your roll, as well as the +1 you were getting from I May Perceive.
Okay. And then that's a beat token, right?
Yes.
The privilege? Okay. Oh gosh, here we go. Eternity or charm? Eternity. Because
normally eternity, but
yeah.
Is blood higher for you?
Charm? No. It's eternity or charm.
So I know. Normally it's
charm
either
is higher. Actually.
Only okay.
Oh no.
But
Blood
charm
is
would work.
actually. Hold on. Actually, no. Never mind. My blood is +1.
Okay, because you're using this in a very physical way, right?
Yeah,
Unlike normal. So occasionally a different attribute could apply.
Okay.
When it's appropriate.
Like in Blades in the Dark.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, so I rolled on the die a 6 and a 1, so that's a total of 7, and then an additional +2 for my bonuses, 7, 8, so that's a 9.
Okay. So you do blow the dust.
Yeah.
But it creates a complication. Yeah. So we will create a 4 pie. So there are 4 different actions that you have to do to undo this complication. And the complication is that your adversary has used a power to make themselves unharmable.
Okay.
So Edna stalks up. Diego blows this dust. This person becomes visible. They are a smaller version, no hat though, of your friend from earlier, but they look identical. What is Edna doing?
Edna is going to take a swipe at this individual, and utilizing the fact, like her fingers, the bones inside of her fingers, which are now iron, like literally extend and come out into various blades, and she just scrapes along the surface of this person. Like I for two things. I consider this one of the actions because it is iron,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also she doesn't necessarily know that this person is unharmable. So
Totally. I would. You can either resolve a complication as your move, or slay or sway. Slay or sway being the usual combat move, but resolve a complication would be appropriate to proactively work through that complication.
okay, and would this be blood as well?
It would be blood, yes.
Okay. And so I have utilized my form and I spent 3 blood into it to become this iron beast.
Mm-hmm.
Does that add the alter to this roll?
So normally you can't roll with privilege on resolve a complication.
Okay.
In this case, what I will say is that if you get a critical success, it will clear the complication completely.
Okay. Cool.
Anything beyond that will still only do the normal complication clearing of 1 pie piece per success.
All right. That sounds totally fair. Let's see. I don't know why my dice roller fell off. There it is. Okay. And that. Okay, that is a 4 and a 4. That is just a 10.
Okay.
So not, but a solid success, but without any other complications, but not a crit.
For sure. So Edna scrapes against this magical field that this being has put up. And when you do so, it creates this sort of, it's like a violin when you don't know how to use the bow on it, is the type of screech that it emits, the force field. What is Ms. Blair doing?
Cover your ears at that. Because I have heard that sound.
Yes.
I was like, do I want to use my last little feed token or do I not? To uncover, do I have to use a privilege or can I just make a roll for it?
You can just make a roll. Yep.
Okay. I think I either wanted to do either something ritual or uncover about it, of like trying to figure out what exactly is cloaking this person that we just can't see.
I think we can see them now.
You can
we
see
can
them
see
now.
them now.
Yeah.
Oh, we can see them now.
Yeah,
Okay.
because of the dust that I did. The problem is the complication from that is that in response they use some magic to be unharmable.
Okay.
And that's the complication we're trying to overcome, if that makes sense.
I think a ritual would be better, just to try and, like, if I could remove it, like she's going to see if she can remove this effect from them. And then I guess I will spend my last one on that one.
So you can roll the move, your playbook move, without having to spend for rolling it with privilege.
Okay.
So this is Ritualist, which is your second Archivist move. And you can roll it with, straight, as it were, which would be rolling it with Cloak. Now, normally, I ask any ritualist to describe their ritual. If you have some ideas of things that you would do, that is enough to give us the flavor of the ritual in this situation.
They're covered in the dust?
Correct.
Okay. I think she kind of like traces like runes over like in the air to kind of give that little effect. And like if the ritual goes off successfully, they kind of lift out of the dust and ignite this kind of circle around this person to remove that effect.
I love that.
Ooh.
That's if it goes off. Okay, 6 and a 3, so 9, and then 1 from cloak is a 10.
Okay. The ritual works as intended and creates a significant effect. You would normally, with rituals, you can clear nostalgia. I don't think you've marked any nostalgia. So what I will say is this clears 2 layers of the complication. So you have of the 4 pieces of the pie, you have cleared 3 of them. And it starts mumbling a discordant sort of song in the back of its throat. It just kind of sounds like
It's corn.
exactly.
No.
And we'll swing back, though we weren't exactly in rounds, but I think the action would be to Diego.
I think Diego is going to draw out his collapsing baton once again, but the way he's going to do it to kind of resolve the complication I'm going to roll with is he pulls it out and then boom, holds the iron like right near it, almost like a canceling energy to kind of disperse the rest of the magic that the Fae is using on the group. And I think I would like to roll with blood.
Yes.
Like a physical action.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, that is an 11.
Awesome. So you crack open the magical field around him. It drops, and the dust seems to kind of like burn in the way that Midnight was describing before. And I'm going to give Edna the key action here. What is Edna doing to this now defenseless, well, less defended than before Fae being?
She is going to leap on top of him and press him down, and her face is really, really close. And as her mouth opens, like just it extends, like the smile like cracks all the way up to her ears, and it's nothing but jagged bits of rusted metal. Like they're not metal teeth; they're just bits of metal in all kinds of ways. And she hisses, "Forget the name."
Parlay. I wish to parlay per the agreement of Lords 11-12. I don't think any of you have any clue what it means.
Yeah, but well, she again just sort of like pushes him down again. Forget the name, then parlay.
I do not know any names. All names are forgotten. I beseech thee to parlay.
Edna pulls back and is suddenly Edna again and fully just regular formed and just sighs. Okay, whatever you all want to do. I'm satisfied. And she kind of like curls up on the ground, like knees up to her chest. And for once you kind of get a real look at Edna and see that she can't be like when she was turned, she couldn't have been more than like 17 or 18.
How small is this little creature or this fae now?
He is about 4 feet tall. A perfect copy of the other fae that you met earlier, but smaller. Same sort of glamour that the other one had on it initially.
I think Edith is just going to be like, well, what do you want? Why are you down here? To take what's yours?
No, I am here to uncover the vault. Yes.
Who sent you?
The Lord did, of course.
You gotta open the door.
No. No, I was hoping you did, and then I could follow you. But perhaps, since we are parlaying per the 11-12 accords, perhaps you would be interested in working together.
I don't give a fuck about any 11-12 accords. Unless you want this through your skull. You should turn around, go up those stairs, grab your unconscious friend, and go back to your lord and say this vault is not his.
Okay. That sounds.
And, I would like to roll charm. Oh no, I have to roll with blood for that. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's the same, and I'd like to use Defiance as my name. I'm trying to intimidate him to leave. You know.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Eight. So your defiance of established order succeeds, but it comes with a cost of just attracting the attention of a dangerous foe. An ally gets caught up in your rebellion, or you lose something valuable in the process. Gain +1 to your next roll with blood. The narrator grants a complication. May I make a suggestion, narrator?
Sure.
Could I get the attention of a dangerous foe, being this like Fey Lord?
That would be hard because the Fey Lord is currently unconscious.
Oh, okay, so it's not another. Oh, this is the flunky of the guy I already took out.
Yes.
Sorry, I thought there was someone.
That's okay. You didn't know that until right now.
Oh, okay. I thought there was someone above him. Never mind. I'm going to defer to you on this because I didn't realize that I had already toppled the top flyer.
If I could make a suggestion, the fact that this Fae saw you with the rod, so when the Lord gets up and is like, "What the hell hit me?" He goes, "Oh, one of them had some sort of rod that they said they were going to put through my skull." So then you could get like later on that if that's what you would like.
Yeah.
That is certainly a complication that we could put on the books. Now, in this condition, with them being aware of your weapon and your capabilities, that would be an 8 pi complication.
Oh my god.
And I am comfortable with that. As long as you all are, because I will give you the option to accept that complication or a different one.
A different one's fine. I just didn't know, like, you know.
To be fair, I also thought there was somebody else, but you know, it's okay. We didn't know.
It was unclear, and that's okay. All right. So he turns around and leaves. And I will say, this creates a different complication in that he could have assisted you in opening the vault. And his lack of presence will now make things slightly more difficult in opening these doors. So what do you all do?
I'm honestly surprised Diego just doesn't just shove him through the door as like a key. But I don't think we want to do that.
Is the marching thing, could it also be just being in step or even tapping with the music with harmony?
It could be, yes.
Or march to the beat of your own drum type of thing.
I think we should try and see if we can maintain a unifying rhythm on the door.
Could be. I was also thinking it might have to do with Elizabeth's like crescendo of the performance. Like, are we supposed to open it when that goes off? Maybe. I don't know.
Can we hear it?
The downside is you cannot hear the music from above at all now.
If only I knew how to use one of those phone thingies.
Oh yeah. She live streaming. You can play it up to the door.
I'm calling
Matthew, right?
I'm calling Matthew.
Takes him a moment, and then he notices his phone is vibrating. And hello?
Hey, could you do me?
It's just so much like noise, music in the
I
background.
said, look, do me a favor. Just stream the concert for me.
Okay.
And then I put it on speakerphone.
So at this stage in the performance, Elizabeth is jamming out on the guitar. And again, this shouldn't work. Like, she's playing some sort of mix of blues and no, this would work. Blues and funk together, right? But the rest of the music, again, shouldn't work, and it does. And she is starting to sing along. She's just started to sing. And Matthew just, like, he almost lowers the phone before he remembers that you're watching. And I don't know if that was an intentional knock, but that could be, it could be the right time to try something against the door.
Yeah. We will. Is like, how would we do this in unison? Is that like a?
I think we're just gonna do a unified knock to the beat of the music.
So
yeah,
I think I'm going to ask for blood rolls from each of you. I think because you've got the music to support you, you can do it with a +2 for each of you. But you're definitely going to need to succeed, each succeed on this to get it right.
Here we
no
go.
pressure. Ooh. You said how much for a plus what?
+2.
11.
7.
7.
13.
Okay.
Oh.
So we've got one critical success, one success, and then Midnight, you've got
I know.
a success with a complication.
Can I use my crit to bring her roll up?
We're doing a group average. Can we do a curve?
The good news is you all tap the wall in unison with each other, right? And it matches the beat of the music above. And you feel the door crack open. And at that moment, you smell something, a waft of something from inside the vault. These vaults often don't, from your memory of the one other vault that you've opened, don't usually have a scent that comes out, and this one does. and that's worrying.
Like a familiar scent of somebody that's possibly been fed on, been dead for a while.
No, it's like nothing you've ever smelled before. It doesn't smell good though. It's a mix. It feels putrid. It feels rotten, right? But it's not material that you've smelled before.
So sometimes these vaults aren't good.
Yes.
And we know this.
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, poor Elizabeth.
Everyone be on your guard. And I'm going to try to quietly, gently open the vault.
You pull the doors open, they open out, and Diego's kind of pushing them open, and a light appears. And it kind of shocks your eyes for a moment. The vault opens up to a wall a few feet away from the entry, and it goes to the left for a couple of feet, and then hits a wall, and then it goes to the right, far, far, far beyond where you can see the end. But there is a light that seems to not have any specific location that is filling the space. It is empty of decoration in a way that feels odd.
Edith.
Yeah.
So something is bothering me. It has a rotten smell, but to open it required music and harmony. So why the disconnect? Did you have any idea?
I still have to do a privilege if I want to perceive, like, if it's related to a ritual, or can I do a different ability?
So you could roll any move without privilege if you want to. But I'll tell you ahead of time that you probably don't know. That this is
Something unique.
outside of your experience.
I mean, I'm not sure. They shouldn't be voided empty like that. There's always something.
I'm going to text Matthew.
Your phone is no longer working.
Is the screen like black, or is it just like
as if it is completely dead? No power, no signal of any sort. It's just a brick in your hand.
Okay, all right. Listen, I this is gonna sound strange. Nobody make out with each other.
You're right. That is going to sound strange.
Well, okay, look. If the phone isn't working, we may be in a horror movie, and anybody who makes out gets killed.
Aren't we kind of already,
We're already dead.
Look, I don't make the rules.
And
they go off screen. How about that?
And horror movies are just, they started off as morality tales. It's just to convince young people not to have sex.
And why are there so many boobs in it?
Hypocrisy.
I don't understand. Anyway, let's just not make out, okay?
Okay, fine.
So you have this
Allen Poe. Goddamn shirt.
This hallway in front of you.
That under the breath.
You notice that the walls' coloring sort of shifts. It at first looked yellowish, and now it looks greenish, like a tealish green, almost identical to Edna's dress.
Yeah, Edna notices that. It's like, okay, I know it's.
Is it matching that same kind of like essence or magic that was coming down like the stairs with us, and the same thing with Elizabeth? Like all the same green or different?
Different.
Uh-huh. Edna, why don't you? Can you change into something? See if it changes.
Oh, you mean my outfit?
Yeah. See if something changes, if it matches you or something. I don't know. That's something about that teal color is throwing me off.
Hmm. Should I change the outfit or change? She will start removing the top part and all of that until it's more of a, like sort of like the undershirt and sort of like the whiteness of it, because she's still thinking horror movies, and she's still thinking, okay, final girl usually is in torn up white clothes. Okay. And she's taking off the pantsuit and all of that, and is like, okay, I've got a tank top on, and I've got my underwear on. Final girl. Okay. Got this.
When I said change, I didn't mean exactly that, but it's up for interpretation sometimes.
The color doesn't change to match, but as Edna is moving around, it does shift to a slightly purplish color.
Huh.
Mood lighting.
And there's no writing or anything on it. It's just
Nope.
just the wall.
Just this weird blank hallway.
We may have to go down.
Go down we will. And then we're just going to start making our way down the hallway. Being
Slowly.
cautious.
Yeah.
The three of you finally step fully into the hallway and start walking down, and that's when the music starts. And it's this organ music. It's just very faint.
Edna opens her mouth to say something and then immediately shuts it, because she's already made this point too many times.
Now, one of the things with May I Enter is we have mixed in some OSR dungeon crawly sort of elements into the way the system is designed, the way the game is designed, right? It's a vampire game with all of these connections to humanity, and it's also this exploration element of these vaults, right? These vaults often reflect something that's happening in the city above. And as you're making your way down this hallway, what are you all doing as it seems to just kind of go on and on and on? And I'll start with Midnight. What is Edith doing?
I think she's just searching, because her whole interest is finding things in vaults, and the fact that it didn't seem like anything was in here is very much throwing her off. So she's like literally just kind of in a search mode, trying to be careful at the same time, like not like running through the hallway, but trying to look for items in the vault that she would normally find interesting or want to collect and take back with her. And I don't, based off the description, don't think she's finding anything and is panicking a little bit because that's bothering her.
That makes sense. I'd like you to roll Uncover. As that kind of panicky energy rises up in you, you start like furtively looking around for something.
Okay. So this is with Eternity, correct?
Correct.
Adds an 8, and for eternity +2, so that is a 10.
Awesome. You, as you're walking down the hallway, you turn, and Edith notices that there's a door. It's right there. There's no way you could have missed it before. And it has musical notes engraved in it.
I think she points it out to the group. Like, I don't know if she's in front because she's like frantically looking. But she was like, how did we miss that before? It's right there. And she's just like kind of running her fingers over the musical notes.
What
do we have anything to play with?
There's no door handle, but it is clearly a door, and these notes are there.
Okay, so this is going to be weird, but could I don't know what this would cover. I'm going to do convince, and I'm going to sing the notes.
Okay. I love the weirdness of that.
As I'm trying to convince the door that, well, I think the notes are the key, and my character's singing the notes, and charm is like tied to like performance, persuasion.
Yeah, coercing, convincing.
He's gonna sing the notes and essentially like convincing the door to let us in.
It's very Army of Darkness, where like I said it, everyone heard it.
Right. 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is very Army of Darkness then.
Like when the GM says, okay.
Diego sings the notes, and it's not quite right. But the door seems to creak a little, like it's trying to open.
Edith, do you know, like, maybe you could do, Edith, I just call myself Edna. Too many E's. Do you have something you can play the beat with?
I don't know about play, but here's the thing. When we came in, it mentioned harmony. Maybe we just all need to sing it. Wait. Let me remember the notes. And as she says that, she gets a little taller. She gets a little blonde. She looks a little like a nun.
All right.
Do a dear feet. Anyway.
That was a reference that I was picking up too.
Yeah, I think like on her suggestion, I think all three of us are going to try to sing in unison.
So I'm not going to have you roll, because that was exactly the thing I was hoping you would think to do as a team. And it immediately the door swings in this time, and the entire hallway behind you changes. It now matches the design of the doors from outside. There are cuneiform sort of like symbols on the walls, and the room that you walk into is like, it has stairs that go down, and there's stairs that go up on each side of the room. And in the center is a small dais that could fit 3 people easily. And as you walk in, you look at it, and it looks like an ancient auditorium of some form. There are no other doors in the room as far as you can see, and there do not appear to be any writing on the wall. But the walls at least look like they match the design of the hallway now.
Maybe
Is
we have to
this
give a performance.
Sumeria's Got Talent?
Mary's got out. This place was definitely designed with music in mind.
Well, Edna starts heading toward the dais.
Yeah, I follow.
The fellow.
You get there, and Edna, please roll a uncover for me using eternity.
Okay, that is the thing I suck at most, but we'll see.
You're the first one, so
All right. Okay, so I know what I've rolled. What I am going to do, though, is utilize the nostalgia mechanic
Mhm.
and try and remember from some of that Sumerian teaching any sort of hints. And by doing that, if I remember correctly, by spending 2 nostalgia, or well, not spending, but having 2 nostalgia hit, she sort of puts her mind back there. Because she's not been in a room like this for a while, so there's a lot of things that are starting to click that she's not thought about in years. She's very much a present moment, but now all this stuff is coming back, which I believe gives a regular success, but with complication.
yes. So Edna notices that there's writing on the dais that's invisible unless you work to see it. The complication is that it is not in Sumerian. It is in some other language. But Edna also realizes that this is an auditorium, right? This is the type of place musicians or actors or philosophers, they're all the same thing, would stand on and would speak or sing or tell a story, right? So those are the things that you notice.
And I relay this information.
So I know we didn't say like if we have stuff on us. But would Edith have like, I don't know, like maybe an old keepsake, like of an old fairy tale or story of something that she has kept with her, like in a pocket? Is that a fair ask, or would I have to make a roll to see?
That's totally fair. So there's no equipment system in the game per se, but I love players are like, I of course would have a thing, right? This thing that makes sense in the scene, right? And cinematically, right? Edith reaching for something that clearly connects to this moment, right? Like maybe a small locket that has a scrap of a story written around the edge.
Yeah. I think she reaches for that as Edna says that, and then tries to go stand over here on the and like start vocalizing the story outwardly, like with some kind of emotion or tone, depending on the story, and see if it does anything for us.
I am noticing we just got to hydrate. I think we all have to like cheer or something and drink at the same time.
Cheers.
Because it's a dragon pub, so huzzah!
Yeah, huzzah. Hydration is good. I would like you to roll a convince for this, to see how well using charm you kind of give off this speech that you're giving.
I'm like, what's my charm? Oh, not great. Okay. I didn't want to roll twice. Ooh, that's a 7.
Okay. So Edith reaches deep and kind of stumbling, starts reading this
Got
thing
really
off.
tiny writing.
Yeah.
She's trying to make it out. I needed my glasses.
Oh, lordy.
And for a second, you all see figures in the auditorium, like seated on the benches. And they're just fleeting there for just a moment. They're clearly like aware of, empowered by, inspired by your attempt at giving this, story a beautiful rendition, but they don't quite fully solidify.
Okay. Maybe we sing, or is somebody else that can see a little better? Want to try?
Well, it's serving us well so far. So let's all three go on the dais.
Okay.
Take a deep breath. All right, just a single note. I'll start, and the two of you will join. And then, he starts and, he waits, and he doesn't increase in volume until the other two join in. And we just, on, 3 different levels, do, a single note.
When you do that again, you see the ripple of an audience appear. And, there's just a subtle, noise that accompanies it, like the sounds of an audience.
Huh.
Maybe it needs to be a longer performance.
Probably.
Could Edith technically, because I still have one feed token, could she make a ritual that would involve the performance to kind of amplify that effect?
Absolutely.
So I'll spend that. I'm going to roll 2 different d6. They weren't too nice the last couple. They were like, we're going to humble her. Okay, so that's 8 on the dice. And
Hello.
I know I get
Hello.
2 for
Yes,
the
we hear you.
feet token. You good? Okay. So I think that's a 10, right? I only add the 2, or do I add in something else?
No, you just add the 2.
There we go.
Okay.
Bishy, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can
Okay.
hear now. Yeah, and Edna actually has she leans to Diego and says, "I've got something I want to try." Okay. Because I think with the help of the ritual.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So you hit on the music, and that's unison. We've got a ritual going, but what I think these people are waiting for is to hear something new or to be taught something. So, and she begins to shift, and this time it does involve her clothing, as she is suddenly standing there in fishnets and a corset top and a Tim Curry looking wig and makeup. And she begins to go into, and hoping you join along, the time warp.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, he does. Absolutely.
So I love that a ritual accompanies the time warp.
Yeah.
I think that's fantastic. So that occurs. And with the ritual that Edith enacts within this musical spectacle, the audience fully appears, right? And you go through the whole song, and the audience starts to clap, and a door opens up on the opposite side of the room, and it's just dark on the other side of the door, but the door is clearly open.
I just start to move like confidently and quickly towards that door before people stop clapping, just being like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you."
Give a bow
Like,
and then
through the
quickly
middle-
run.
Yeah, through the middle aisle, just like hustle into the door.
Yeah, Edna's kind of hemming it up a little bit because she's got that curry vibe, so she's like, doing little kisses to everyone and is like, oh, thank you. She's going back.
As you are making your way out, before you didn't really, like, the audience was there, but you weren't really looking at them, right? You were performing. But as you're walking out, you notice that several of them do not appear to be humans like Homo sapiens. They are clearly pre-Homo sapien hominids. One of them in particular catches all three of your eyes. He looks this strange, shriveled old man, just ancient beyond ancient. And he smiles at you. And there's this weird sensation of familiarity. You've all seen this man once in your unlives. He's known as the Ancient. He is the oldest known vampire. And you see him in the past in this memory space of music. And then the audience fades away. And you step into this other room. And in the room is a simple stone sarcophagus that is closed, and there are a series of different musical style inscriptions on the casket's lid, on the sarcophagus's lid.
Well, what ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's we try again in unison, or do we want to open it? Is a better question.
Are there any exits out of this room?
There are. The way you came in is the way you can leave.
How many different songs are there on there? Does it seem?
As far as you can tell, they're different versions of the same song. They're different systems of notations for the same song.
Is there any way we could try and translate the song? Because this might be a specific song.
So I think a uncover roll could help.
Then Edna suggests that to people who are better at uncovering.
I'm just trying to. Oh, I think I roll Eternity. I can try it. Edith can try it.
Yeah, you're the
You read
scholar
things.
around. You're the scholar around here. What does this say?
Okay, good thing for Eternity because that was a 7. With Eternity, that's 9.
Okay. It takes you a while. And after a bit, you think you translate the intent. A song together will awake me.
Mm-hmm.
But I am older than the mountains. I am older than the sea. And if you wish to awake me, you must be sure that that is what you want.
Is it wrong for me to say that I'm not sure?
No, I think none of us are sure. At least
No,
not
I'm not. I'm
100%.
not sure either. I don't know if I want to meet a vampire that old.
And this is like
That
Elizabeth's fault. She opened it in a
I
way.
mean, yeah, and also that means a vampire is older than the Accords.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Why don't we, with the information we have, carefully make our way back to the concert and let Elizabeth know what we found?
You know, it's really good we didn't let the Fae down here.
Yeah.
Or we could have, and he could have gotten rid of them for us. But that's a different.
If we had to deal with the Fae being down here, we might have had to awaken whatever is in there to deal with them.
Okay. All right. Well, I believe it's a step to the left. To get out.
Right. Okay. We're gonna carefully backtrack. I'm gonna pull like a. Oh, shoot. Can you, Miss Blair? I have this top hat in my hand. Could you map the way back, like as we go through, just so that we have
Yeah.
something to give Elizabeth to let her know where to go?
I think.
And I
will note
hand
it
her like a
down.
little. Oh, do you have like a little?
He'll probably have something.
Yeah, the notepad, right? Yeah.
So we're just gonna take like like you said earlier, classic OSR style. We're gonna make our characters are gonna make a map to be able to give to Elizabeth, and like every entrance, like everything we had to do, like you're gonna have to do a performance and a ritual, and 3-part harmonies are gonna help you. So that we have something to give Elizabeth once we get back to the concert venue.
Edna leans over to Diego and whispers something into his ear.
Diego, listen.
Before you hand it to her, could you this is gonna sound awkward. Could you poke her with your iron first?
I'll ask her to touch it.
Yeah, because Fae and trickery and
Shapeshifters, yeah, I got you.
okay, go.
So you all map the location. You make your way out of the vault. You start heading up the stairs. And about halfway, the music from above starts to hit your ears. And it sounds beautiful. And you make your way slowly up. The music gets louder and louder and louder. It starts to feel like it's literally lifting you up, making stepping up these stairs easier and easier as you go. You get to the top of the stairs, and there's one last strong note from Elizabeth's guitar, and the music goes silent. And at first, the audience doesn't do anything. Everyone is just mesmerized. And then the applause is deafening. And you guys come up the stairs as she is sweeping her way down toward you. And she smiles. She sets her guitar down. And she says softly, "Show me what you found, and let's uncover it together." And I think that's where we're going to end the story.
Nice.
So there's a closing thing that I'm supposed to read, so I'm going to read that here. That's where we're going to end our adventure tonight. Thank you so much for joining us for this game of May I Enter, the story of music to our ears.
Ha ha.
Nice.
Couldn't
And
have-
Edna,
Nope.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and Edna ends this looking like a female Tim Curry, which is amazing.
Fantastic.
Oh, yes. The best part is so many years
Somebody
of
do
Rocky
art.
Horror, being in so many Rocky Horror casts, I've seen it.
So I couldn't have told this story without the incredible players at the table. Why don't you tell the audience where they can find you and what you'll be up to next? I will start with Bishy.
For some reason or another, everyone always starts with me. I think it's because my name starts with a B, and
It
I
might
need
be.
to change that. Hello, everyone. I am Bishy Bunny. That's all one word: BISHIEBUNNY. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Blue Sky. You can find me streaming on Twitch. I run every other week. I run 2 Cyberpunk Red games, one for the Geek Squad and one for the Monster Squad. Um, and I do variety streams. And every Sunday, I play some game with the Breakfast Crew, which is just a crew of my PNG friends. We've been playing Enshrouded and V Rising a lot lately. Um, Beyond that, as far as like, I believe we're doing Enshrouded tomorrow. And I think I'm also playing Daggerheart. I do a lot of things. Anyway, so just keep an eye out, and if you enjoyed my play or anything like that, yeah, hang out with a bun. A bun is fun, so I've been told.
And we will popcorn it to our Diego player, Okami, if you would like to go next.
Yes, hello. My name is Okami at KT Okami all over the internet. Also known as Hector Reyes in more professional circles. I am a TTRPG performer and game designer. I'm currently the creative director over at House of Dreams, which is a Twitch channel / YouTube channel that focuses on uplifting BIPOC, LGBTQ, and other marginalized creators, give them a place to tell stories, and raise money for charity. I am also currently the newly appointed charity and community outreach lead for Apocalyptic Unlimited and all BIPOC TTRPG creative collective. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, reach out to me. And I at kchiokami.itch.io, I have games there. It's also on my Blue Sky page. So please follow me, look at my projects. The next thing you're going to see me in is I'll be back here in I think a couple of weeks playing Spindle Wheel with the for another one of these wonderful indie TTRPG months here at the Pocket Track Pub. And I have some other projects coming up soon. I have a Kids on Bikes Halloween game in the works, one shot that will be popping up next month over on Apocalyptic Unlimited. Keep an eye out on my socials for a casting call. And season 2 of my Wander Home saga, A Season's Oath, is in pre-production. I'm taking notes, I'm making plans, and soon we'll be back into the beautiful lands of Hythe. I'm going to go ahead and I've talked enough, so I'm going to popcorn it over to the beautiful Midnight Maiden.
Thank you. I think I'm more known for being part of Arcane Focus D&D. That is our actual play channel, where I've been part of this group before, and we've invited and cross-promoted before. But we've actually made a little business called Arcane Circle. You can find it at arcanecircle.games. It will be a TTRPG hub where GMs and DMs can monetize their games with the VTT, and we're currently taking people for our wait list. So if you go to arcanecircle.games, you can sign up there for the next and best updates. And that's where you can find me. I'm on Blue Sky, TikTok, YouTube, all the things under either Arcane Focus D&D or Arcane Circle.
Awesome. And as for me, I have been and still am Josh Heath, the narrator of this wonderful story. You can find me on Blue Sky at High Level Games, where I talk about world building and game design. And may I enter quite a lot for a while there while our Kickstarter was running. You also can find me on Drive Through RPG, Josh Heath. I have over 140 different products that I've produced for various systems, including things on the Storyteller's Vault. So if you are into other types of World of Darkness type games, I've written for several of them, both officially and unofficially. I also am one of the hosts of Werewolf the Podcast, even though we've been on the longest hiatus ever, and unofficially ended that show. But we talk about Werewolf the Apocalypse, which is a great game. I'm also a host on Opcast, where we talk about the Trinity Continuum. And there's a million other things. But if you go to highlevelgames.ca, yes, the company is Canadian. I'm sorry, but I am not. If you go to highlevelgames.ca, you can find all of the different things that we have worked on there. And if you are interested in learning more about May I Enter, you can find that link in the chat. And as for what's next at the Pocket Dragon Pub, you should stay around for Indie Game Month, which this game is a part of. We also have other games coming up. Maybe I should just read this as written. We will be featuring 4 incredible indie games, 3 TTRPGs, and 1 board game. Join us for on Thursday and every Saturday this month at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, every week for games as simple as a card draw and as crunchy as Dungeon World. Our featured game designers include me, Josh Heath, Sasha Renault, Mo Pop, and Duam. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that last one correctly. If you're interested in promoting your game, reach out to us for our next Indie Game Month at pocketdragonpub@gmail.com. You should do that. If you're an indie game developer, you should do that. This has been a ton of fun. PAX Unplugged is also coming up. Josh Heath will be there, but also Tavern Keeper Vixie Bell has the great privilege of game mastering for the PAX Together Intersection Library. Join the table for a spellbinding game of It's Only Magic Miami, Cleanup Crew, a spin-off adventure set in the world of our grant-winning It's Only Magic actual play, It's Only Magic Miami, and keep an eye out on the PAX website and be sure to grab a seat at that table and any tables that Josh Heath may be hosting as well. Lots of great content on YouTube for the Pocket Dragon Pub, so find us over there. Lots of amazing things related to the Pocket Dragon Pub, and I'm super excited to have been on here, and recommend that you keep an eye on things going on the socials at Pocket Dragon Pub. So thank you for watching, and see you soon.